Hell yeah, it is. The game's pretty good too. It goes into more detail about certain things than the anime does. So the game's good too. Even if you've already seen the show. Oh, I know which thread it is. It's the pink one, because of course it is. Yep, black. Was it black, yellow, or pink? Oh, red, not yellow. Oh, yep. Well, I mean, when I did this before, it was pink. But that might have been, what is it? That might have been unique to the world, not the world line, to the ending I had. So it was the end of Stardust Sky, Mayuri's ending. So when you go to the beta world line, he checks his shoulder, and it says it's missing the pink thread. So maybe for each of the endings it changes. Oh, in the anime, okay. We're gonna say in this it's pink. Either that, or it could change for each of the endings, I'm not too sure. Silence again. The words flow so naturally when it's just harmless banter, but 1 second of silence and suddenly we have nothing to say. Must be because of what happened yesterday. I'm so desperate to avoid the topic that nothing seems safe. I know I need to say something, but what? I have indeed. Her voice is barely a whisper, but I can hear her clearly in the silence of the empty stairwell. I look at Kurisu, she's hugging her knees to her chest, presumably against the cold. My decision. I know what she means. That's why I can't answer. Well, there's only one option I have, actually. I don't have the final true ending flag, because I avoided it on purpose. So I can only get one ending. And it begins with K. Okay, that came out of nowhere. Where did that come from? Kurisu keeps staring into the darkness. Oh, of course it is. The OST originates from the game. It was carried over into the anime. The only difference with the anime is the intro. The intro for that is different than the games. And honestly, I think I prefer the anime's intro compared to the games. The games is good too. The anime's is just better. Kurisu too? Oh no, that's awful. We're not going to be saving Mayuri. So Kurisu's the same. She still has faint memories from previous world lines. Oh no, but I can't! I have too many true ending flags! I do find it quite cool that they do split off the end of the game, dependent on how many true ending flags you have. But at the same time it's a bit of a pain in the arse because you have to play through the entire game again. To save Mayuri, I must undo the current world line. If I do that, Kurisu will die.
なんだか廃墟に迷い込んだみたい。
Kurisu suddenly changes the subject. She looks around the dark, empty stairwell.
まるで世界中の電源が切られて、私たちだけ取り残されたみたい。ふと思うんだ。もしあんたがベータ世界線に行ったとする。みんなも一斉にそっちに移動するとしたら、私だけは移動できない。私だけが取り残される。そうしたら世界中がこの場所みたいになっちゃうのかな。所詮これも仮説の一つだけど。
俺は
I need to say it.
お前も救う。マユリだけじゃなくてお前も。
Okay, this is the same.
できもしないこと言わなくていい。
Kurisu cuts me off sharply, then buries her face in her knees.
怖くないかってさっき聞いた。
I can't remember when it is we said who we'd save. Oh wait, it's actually... It's fairly soon.
自分で消えるかもしれない。自分だけが取り残されるかもしれない。あるいはあんただけがこの世界線からいなくなるかもしれない。誰もあんたがいなくなったことを認識してない世界がずっと続いていって、私は何事もなかったかのようにアメリカに帰るかもしれない。かもしれない。かもしれない。かもしれない。そんないろんな可能性を考えて、その度に絶望的な気分になる。でも
Kurisu raises her head and spins me with her glare.
だからマユリを見殺しにしろなんて言えると思う？
クリス。
もうなんか寒いな。
Kurisu grabs her own arms. In the darkness, I see her shoulders shaking.
濡れてる服着てる青年。たくダメだ。こんなの全然論理的じゃない。仮説にすらなってない。全部根拠のない妄想。こんなしょうもない妄想を垂れ流す脳の機能をカットしてやりたい。
Bloody hell. Bit excessive. Now she's talking to herself in an angry tone. Kurisu has always been calm when faced with the unknown. I admired her for that. I thought she was facing this calmly too, but I was wrong. Behind her cold facade, she was struggling to cope with the knowledge that her very existence was in jeopardy. She was fighting that fear all alone, and now it has finally come to the surface. Of course she's afraid. However brilliant she may be, she's still just an 18-year-old girl. Kurisu abruptly stands up. I realize that I no longer hear the sound of rain pounding on the roof.
聞いて、岡部。両方救うのは無理。そうでしょ。
Mm-hmm.
どうあがいたって確率は2分の1なの。
This seems new.
だが
だがじゃない。私の結論は変わらない。マユリを助けて。
Oh. She says the same thing. I hear the pain in her voice and also the resolve. Kurisu has made up her mind. I look away and clench my fists. My nails dig into the palms of my hands.
そう簡単に諦めろっていうのか。お前を見捨てろっていうのか。そんなのできるはずがないだろう。
Yeah, so this is all still the same. I'm curious when it's gonna
で
change.
きないかじゃない。あんたをやらなくちゃいけない。それしか道はない。
I would press start and it would go into auto mode, but if I've already seen this text, it'll just skip by it and then I'll be very confused.
ダメだ。お前は俺たちの大切な仲間だ。俺はお前も見捨てない。
岡部。
Kurisu drops to her knees and grabs me by the collar. I gasp for breath as she stares into my eyes. Her hands are hard and stern. Her eyes are hard and stern. It's always like this when she scolds me. Always the same glare.
他に解決策があるの？ないんでしょ。私はマユリを犠牲にしてまで生きていたくない。もしマユリを助けなかったら、
Ah, there it is. I'll never forgive you.
あんたを一生恨むから。
Ooh, now that is interesting. How is this gonna go out then? This can't be happening. I hate this choice with no right answer. I hate the universe for being so cruel. And most of all, I hate myself for forcing Kurisu to speak these words when she is the one with the most to lose. Tears well up in my eyes, but I bite my lip and hold them back. Is there really no other way? I can't bear it. I look straight back at Kurisu as she holds me by the collar. I tightly embrace her slender body. Her clothes are still wet from the rain, but all I feel is warmth radiating from the core of her being.
お前はここにいるのにこんなのあんまりだ。
Okay, this seems new. No, it doesn't. I never know, it's hard to tell. It's been like 3 hours. Tension drains from her back and her hands. She gives her whole body to my embrace.
ありがとう。私のためにそこまで苦しんでくれて。でももう十分。私は大丈夫だから。あとはマユリのことだけ考えて。
Despite her fear, Kurisu has made her choice. It's time for me to do the same. I need to decide, here and now, the future of the world, which friend to let die. Holding Kurisu tightly, I whisper into her ear. This is where it's different.
俺は諦めない。絶対にだ。
Okay. Instead of... Okay. Now it's different. Before, or on the Mayuri ending, all he said was, I'm sorry. But this one, he says I won't give up. Kurisu suddenly pushes me away. She steps back, her face is hidden behind her hair. But her fists are trembling, her body exudes raw fury.
話にならない。このマザーバッカー。
Wow.
お前
私は大丈夫だって言ってんのに何が諦めないだ。バカなの？死ぬの？英雄気取りか。この中二病患者ができもしないくせにカッコつけてんじゃない。あんたの頭の悪さにはイライラする。なんで私の言うこと素直に聞き入れてくれないのよ。
俺は
あんたがマユリを助けることが相対的に判断してベストなのよ。一体何が気に入らないの。
相対的判断などクソくらいだ。
Oh wow. Kurisu stares at me in shock.
俺は神じゃない。気がついたらそれに等しい立場にいたけど全然違う。誰を助けて誰を見殺しにするかなんて俺はもう決められない。
Suzuha. Faris. Lukako. I sacrificed their happiness to save Mayuri, and the whole time a voice in the back of my head was asking, is this really okay? What gives me the right?
だから俺は今度こそ
It's kind of like the same as with Lukako, to be honest, where he just gave up. Well, in a sense. It was more the fact he was like, what right do I have to take away someone else's happiness? Right, this time I want to save both of them without sacrificing anyone. Kurisu turns away with a frown, then starts tapping her foot in a clear gesture of displeasure.
どうせ無理よ。いつもあんた言ってるでしょ。シュタインズゲートの選択ってやつ。回避不能。回は出てる。岡部一人がどれだけ頑張ったって世界の意志には勝てない。
それでも俺はもがいてやる。
I won't lose Mayuri or Kurisu. I hear Kurisu grinding her teeth. Then she turns her back to me.
勝手にしろ。私は手伝わないからな。もうアメリカに帰るつもりだし。さよなら。もう二度と会うこともないわね。法王院京馬さん。本当にバカ。バカにも程がある。このバカ。
Kurisu disappears down the stairs, muttering insults until I can no longer hear her. Now alone, I sigh into the darkness. Kurisu is absolutely right. I can't think of a single way to save them both. I'm a fool, and yet I have to try. But this time I won't have Kurisu's help. I have to fight the universe alone. Oh god, it's gonna fail miserably. How do I save both Kurisu and Mayuri? I can't use D-mail, too much could go wrong. I don't want to make the same mistakes twice. Again. In the end, all I can do is time leap. Time leaping can't save Mayuri, but at least it can delay her death. Give me time to find a solution. On this world line, Mayuri dies at 7:30 on the night of August 17th. It's about 26 hours from now. My battle has no end in sight. If only Suzuha were here, I could have asked her for advice. But even alone, I must find a way. So resolved, I start time leaping again to save Mayuri. I've done this before when Mayuri died the first time at Moeka's hands. I tried time leaping to prevent her death. But I only tried running away at that time. This time, I try every approach I can think of. I try hiring bodyguards to protect Mayuri. I try taking Mayuri to South America, an entire world away from Japan. I try crippling CERN with attacks on their servers, the ones that don't need the IBM 5100. I try getting Mayuri admitted to a hospital. It's hard given Mayuri's perfect health, but I manage. My goal is to keep her from dying by heart attack. I try everything I can possibly imagine. However, every plan fails. Mayuri dies again and again and again. Sometimes it's murder, sometimes an accident. But every time I leap, Mayuri dies. Maybe it really is impossible to resist fate. As long as I remain on this wild line, Mayuri can't be saved. Fate will kill her every time. From Mayuri's perspective, she only dies once. But I have seen her die dozens of times, all because of me, and yet it no longer affects me as it used to. Oh god. Little by little I have grown desensitized to her death. In the beginning I felt unbearable pain every time I saw her die, and murderous rage towards the ones responsible. Now I feel nothing. The realization stuns me. After dozens of leaps, I finally realize what should have been obvious from the beginning. I never leaped back more than 26 hours. Why? I could go back as far as August 11th, one whole week in the past. Yet I never do. Why? Because I know that even if I do, nothing will change. I don't believe that anything will change. Every time Mayuri dies, I find myself thinking, another failure, what went wrong this time? I calmly analyse Mayuri's death, then take my data and head for the time leap machine with a sigh, like a gamer forced for the umpteenth time to restart a particularly difficult stage. I'm just going through the motions. I didn't even realise until this moment how routine it had all become. Now that I have, my actions suddenly seem meaningless. I can't take another step. Oh. And that's how I find myself here, sitting motionless in front of the time leap machine. I've been staring at it for hours. When we got caught in that evening shower on the Radican rooftop, my clothes got soaked, but now they're completely dry. My body temperature has dropped, but I don't have the energy to warm myself with a shower. I sluggishly get to my feet and pick up the headset. The sight of it fills me with resignation. Resignation, that's all. There is no desperate drive to save Mayuri, no hope that this time I might succeed. Those emotions are long gone. In truth, they have been gone since my argument with Kurisu. Deep down I always knew that she was right. I pretended not to see it. I told myself that the time leap machine could solve anything, everything. But that was just an excuse, a last attempt to satisfy my ego. In the end, all I'm doing is... I turn around in surprise, and there I see Kurisu standing in the doorway. I thought she never wanted to see me again. Why is she here? Kurisu ignores my question and fixes me with her usual glare. You don't have to tell me, I already know. I know it all too well. In the end, all I'm doing is running away. Running from responsibility. Running from the decision. If I had known it, I would have to make this choice, then I would have refused Suzuha when she entrusted me with her mission.
これまでもマユリを助けるためっていう大義名分でたくさんの人を俺は傷つけてきたんだ。しかもそのことで感じる罪の意識もだんだん鈍っていくんだ。人としてのまともな感覚が失われていくんだ。
だったらなんで今あんたは迷ってる？
タイムリープマシンっていう保険が効かないからかもな。俺はこのマシンを使いこなしてなんていなくて振り回されているだけなのかも。
逃げたって苦しくなるだけ。
She suddenly looks away. Then she leans against the wall and smiles bitterly.
私がそうだから。
Is Kurusu running too? From what?
今の岡部見てられない。自分の顔鏡で見た。急に老けたように見える。心がボロボロになってるんじゃない？そこまで思い悩まずに私の言うことを素直に受け入れればいいんだ。さっき言った通り、あんたはここにとどまっちゃいけない。ベータ世界線に行きなさい。マユリが死なない世界へ。それがあんたのためでもあるし、私のためでもある。
She's right, I have no other options left. No more D-mills, no more time leaps. There's no perfect world where both Kurusu and Mayuri live. Maybe there are things I have yet to try, but I'm certain that all of them will end in vain. As long as I stay on this world line, Mayuri will die. And if I go to the Beta world line, Kurusu will die. We'll never be able to talk like this again. It's only been 20 days since we met, and yet, memories of Kurusu flash before my eyes.
ちょっと勝手に殺さないでくれますか？私ピンピンしてますんで。例えば実際に皆さんが体ごと過去や未来へ行くことができるようなタイムマシンを作るにはまず何が必要か考えてみましょう。誰がクリスティーナだ？一言も言っとらんわ。これまでの自分を否定したくないの。たとえ失敗ばかりだったとしても、それを含めて今の自分があるんだから。私たちひょっとするととんでもないものを作っちゃったかもしれない。前にあんた言ってくれたでしょ。私のこと大切な仲間だって。あれ結構嬉しかったっていうか。じゃあ電話レンジの改良が終わったら一緒についてきて。
Oh, Aomori.
あんたの力になりたい。ありがとう。私のためにそこまで苦しんでくれて。
So much has happened these past 20 days. We argued, we exchanged insults. We made incredible discoveries together, and when confronted with the implications, we shared our fears. Whenever I hit a dead end in my struggle to save Mayuri, I always turned to Kurusu for help. She always listened. She always believed me. And I helped her too, when she was distraught over her father. We promised to go to Aomori together. Without this girl genius on our side, we would not have the time link machine. Proud, passionate Mikise Kurusu. Always strong, or at least pretending to be. A little nosy too, and serious to a fault. Before I knew it, she had become the centre of the lab. From the very beginning, I was attracted to her radiant confidence. I found myself mesmerised by her every gesture, hanging on her every word. I listened enraptured whenever she presented her latest theory. At the end of the day, the reason I never called her by her name was because I was too embarrassed. I admired her, I longed for her, and I didn't want to admit it to myself. Only now do I realise the truth. I love her. And that is why I want so desperately to save her. She's not just a fellow lab member. To me, Kurusu is far more than that. And yet I have no choice. In the end, everything she said was right.
俺はお前を助けられない。すまない。
In a desperate attempt to hold back my tears, I bite my lip tightly. Hey Alice. The taste of blood spreads through my mouth.
なんでよりによってクリスなんだって思う。くそ。
But hell. I pound my fist onto the table. Silence. Nothing moves. Outside the window is only darkness. Is this what it's like to be the only person left in the world?
ねえ岡部、あんたがベータ世界線に行ったら、こうして仲間として一緒に過ごした記憶はマユリや橋田からは消えちゃうのよね。
Yep. Kurusu's cheeks start to redden, and she turns away.
岡部は私のこと覚えてて
I'm good, thanks.
くれる？
How about yourself? Her voice is barely a whisper.
お前のことは絶対に忘れない。誰よりも大切な女のことを忘れたりしない。
Oh.
それって何バカなこと言ってんのよ。
事実だ。
それは証明が必要。それがないと私は方程式を用意できない。
Kurusu is getting flustered for some reason.
ACTH は分泌過剰になり、ガンマ波から確率共鳴が起きてヒルベルト曲線のハウスフル活動は無限大と仮定されるわけだから。
Holy shit!
全近線はポジトロン断層法で計測して。
How fast is she talking? Jesus. ACTH. Ha! Yeah, I'm not saying that. Corticotropic? Adrenocorticotropic. Whatever. I don't do big words. Jesus. Hormone. Secreted in response to stress. Sheesh. I only have 2 tips left now, I think. 1. There's 2. Oh yeah, there's only 2 left. Woohoo! That is, we can measure the... Okay, so that's just a continuation of what she just said. Jesus. The speaker name, our eyes meet.
俺はお前が好きだ。
Aww. That was sudden. Kurusu looks away, her face is bright red.
お前は
言いますと？
お前は俺のことどう思ってる？
知りたいのか？
Kurusu suddenly looks me straight in the eye, her face is still red but her expression is firm. She walks straight up to me, grabs me by the collar and jerks me towards her. Whoa! Whoa!
目を閉じろ。
Oh, I know this part. I remember it from the show. Did I make her mad? Perhaps Kurusu hates me for some reason. Maybe she really did mean all those insults she said to me. That would be really sad. I slowly licked my trembling lips and timidly tried to ask a question.
なぜ目を？
いいから閉じなさいよ。
I do as I'm told, though I still don't know why she's so angry. My collar is still in Kurusu's grip. Abruptly, I feel a soft sensation against my lips. The faint scent of citrus tickles my nose. When I open my eyes in surprise... Hey! Well, that's how she feels. Oh, she's crying. See Kurusu's face... scant millimeters away. And then I understand what has happened. She's kissing me. Her lips are very warm. My mind goes blank. I'm unable to think. I want to stay like this forever. But soon our lips separate. Well, there you go. That's an admission of feelings, I guess. Kurusu looks down shyly.
別にしたくてしたんじゃないから。
Wow.
たださっき
It's an experiment.
約束したでしょ。私のこと忘れないでって。
Sure, that's the only reason.
より強烈な感情とともに海馬に記名されたエピソード記憶は忘却されにくいのよ。それに岡部は変態童貞だからファーストキスのこと ことについて聖地化リハーサルが行われるはずで、それはすぐに長期記憶になってそうそう忘れないかって思って。それで
Oh my god. Elaborative rehearsal. So in psychology, the act of transferring short-term memory to long-term memory. This is done by attaching meaning to the matter to be remembered, or by relating the matter to some other familiar memory. Now we only have one more to tip, and it's an S. There it is. That must be on the true ending, I guess. God, it's been an hour and 40 minutes. Jesus.
どうしても
Time flies.
岡部にだけは私のこと忘れてほしくなかったから。
You just need an excuse to kiss. My heart fills with love for Kurusu as she makes her frantic excuses. What a relief. Kurusu wasn't mad. She was just trying to hide her embarrassment. I want to be with her even more. I want to talk with her even more. I want to learn even more about her. But I know that wish can never come true. My chest tightens, I feel like I'm suffocating. Desperate to keep my emotions under control, I place my own hands on top of Kurusu's, which are still grabbing my collar.
残念だったな。俺はこれがファーストキス。
Oh.
生意気な童貞のくせに。
Cherry boy.
うるさい、少女。
Shut up, virgin. I remember playfully kissing Mayuri in elementary school. And just a little while ago I forcibly kissed Moeka to silence her. Yeah, that's true. But that was on another world line, and now it never happened, so I guess it doesn't count.
そうか。あんたは初めてじゃなかったのね。
そうだ。だから今のは
Oh.
印象としては弱い。長期記憶にはならないかもしれない。
It's just making an excuse to have another kiss. I'm lying, of course. I've never felt such an intense kiss as that. The shock was like a lightning bolt to the brain. But still, I'm lying. Because if I miss this opportunity, I'll never be able to touch Kurusu again. This is my last chance.
だから
Kiss me again. Once more.
もう一度だ。
With feeling. Kurusu fidgets. She usually glares at me harshly, but now she's avoiding my eyes.
絶対に忘れたくないから。念には念を入れる。
I decide to take the initiative. I wrap my arms gently around Kurusu's waist and pull her slender body against mine.
それなら
I guess it's okay.
しょうがないな。
Kurusu looks up at me shyly.
キスだけどうぞ。
What is she worried I'll do?
ちゃんと
Be gentle.
優しくして。
I run my fingers softly through her hair. Then I slowly bend down.
岡部。
We're both shy, so we end up pecking at each other's lips like two small birds. Then we draw back and look at each other. Kurusu's eyes are wet, tears running down her cheeks.